Well, good morning, everybody. We have just about a minute or two. We're going to let a few more folks get on, but myself and Kelsey would like to welcome everybody here. So just wanted to just say welcome to everybody that's here, and we're going to get going in about 2 minutes. Well, Kelsey, I got just a few minutes after 11. You ready to get going here?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, good morning, everybody. First of all, I'd like to welcome everybody to the first of several PALLMANN webinar series that we're going to be hosting throughout the rest of the year. I'd like everybody to, first of all, thank you for your time. Hope everybody is well. Certainly some unique times. And one thing that we've noticed here at PALLMANN is that we still have a wonderful way of communicating with all of our contractors and distributors through this GoToWebinar platform. And so over the next few months, what we're going to do is we're going to spend a little bit of time. We're going to be talking about several different product topics. We're going to keep this very short, roughly about a 20 to 30 minute presentation. And then we're going to leave plenty of time at the end for open mic for questions and answers. If there are questions during the presentation, there is a question bar off to your right-hand side in your toolbar there. Feel free to type anything in there. We are going to hold all questions until the end, so just feel free to type them in as we're going, and then we will answer those at the end. But really happy to have everybody on board today. Happy to have you guys join us, and looking forward to going through the series. Our first series today is on 3 new products, which are by PALLMANN, PALLX Pure, PALLX NATURESEAL, and PALLX WHITESEAL. And joining us today to go through the presentation is our product and technical manager, Kelsey Quigg. Kelsey, thanks for being with us this morning.
Thank you, Josh, and thank you guys, everyone that is attending today. We greatly appreciate it.
Right. Yeah, well, we're looking forward to going through this, and I know you're looking forward to going through this presentation and kind of educating everybody on these new products. You and I had the opportunity to attend the NWFA last week, shooting some videos, which was nice, and we got to kind of shoot some educational videos to supplement this, which are going to be coming out a little later, a few weeks down the road. But with that, I'm going to turn the microphone over to Kelsey, and we will check in with you just at the end here with the Q&A.
All right, thank you, Josh. Let me make sure we get everything clicked here. We look good?
Good to go, Kelsey.
Okay. Once again, thank you all for showing up today and for listening, I guess, and we greatly appreciate it. And we're just going to go ahead and jump right in here, talking about very exciting for us to introduce 3 new products, PALL-X Pure, our finish, our 2 sealers, PALL-X NATURESEAL, PALL-X WHITESEAL, and we're going to talk about each product individually. I think a lot of your distributors out there already have the products. So we did a brand new introduction a few months ago, and now this is kind of more of it's still an introduction, I guess, but basically the material is out there for you guys to purchase. So once again, I am Kelsey Quigg presenting this, so let's dive right in. What we like to do first is we'd like to talk a little bit about our company, and I'll make it very brief. But PALLMANN is a division, a brand basically, of our parent company here, the Oots North America, which is part of the Oots group, which we are a global supplier of flooring installation materials. We only manufacture products in the flooring world. That's all we concentrate on. We are family owned. We do have a 4th generation ownership, and we are also publicly traded on the German stock exchange. And with Oots Group, we do have 7 brands globally. Again, the focus is just on flooring. But in North America, there's 3 brands that we focus on. The first one, kind of our parent flagship, is Ootseen. They focus on subfloor preparation, mainly in the commercial world, where they manufacture primers, moisture mitigation, patch, self-leveling compounds, and adhesives for many different floor coverings. Then we have our brand Wolf, which manufactures machines, mainly in the floor covering removal section, stripping machines, but they also make some concrete grinders and some vacuums, very good tools. And then of course PALLMANN, which is our hardwood division. And PALLMANN, we were established back in 1900. So very old company. We've been around for a long time. We've had expertise in the group for many, many years. And we also are a global supplier of the hardwood flooring installation products. Now, PALLMANN does just concentrate everything underneath hardwood flooring, on top, and of course the maintenance products to maintain that floor. But our main focus is our waterborne sealer and finish technology, which I'll get to with 3 of our new innovative products out there. Now, we're manufactured in Würzburg, Germany, under our supervision of our chemists. And once made there in Germany, it is shipped here to our North American headquarters in Aurora, Colorado. And then from here, we ship our material to our local distribution around the country. Quick introduction for myself. I have been in the hardwood flooring division for 25 years. I started as a contractor when I was 20 years old, doing new construction, just burn and turn the floors basically with oil modified poly. And I worked at that company for a few years, and that's when waterborne technology started hitting the market, kind of mid 90s, and kind of in later 90s it got more popular. And then I started my own business that I worked for several years. And then I fell in love with the PALLMANN products as a contractor, and I wanted to come work for this type of company. And so now I've been with PALLMANN for over 11.5 years. And I started off as just a field technician. I was on job sites every day, training contractors, teaching how to use our products, doing demonstrations with our distributors, traveling the nation, really working and showing our products. But for the last several years, I am now the product and technical manager of our PALLMANN brand. So let's go ahead and dive into the products. Like mentioned before, we're going to go through one by one. And as Josh mentioned also, that please send your questions to him during this time. And then once we get through all 3 products, we'll have our session there to do our questions and answers. First off, PALL-X Pure. Pure is a 2-component waterborne hardwood floor finish for commercial or residential use when an ultra matte appearance is desired. Pure has a unique formula that does contain a small amount of white pigment, which allows for the lowest sheen available and also provides a natural wood tone appearance. This finish is ideal for light woods to keep light woods light, but it also may be applied on top of dark stains or exotic woods after testing for appearance. So we do recommend applying this material ahead of time or showing samples so your customer knows what the appearance is. We come in your standard 1 US gallon. It is milky white when it comes out of the jug, but it is clear when dry. Even though it has that small amount of white pigment, you don't notice it, you don't see it. There's still a nice clarity to the hardwood floor. It's a very low, non-offending odor. The sheen is 2 to 3 points on the point scale, which is extremely low, one of the lowest on the market out there today. It has a very high solid content of 35%. The VOC does not exceed 250 grams per liter, so it's legal in all 50 states. No concerns there. The clarity, again, I have mentioned before, it is clear when dry, and most importantly, it has a non-yellowing effect with that white pigment. Will not amber or fade, but non-yellowing. Coverage rate's a little higher than our older products. We want to try to achieve 500 to 550 square feet per gallon. Easy to do. And it has a 1 hour pot life, which is ample time to apply the material per jug. Go through a couple feature and benefits here. It is fast drying and curing, so it makes it very forgiving and easy to apply. It has high wear and durability, so it's commercial and for residential applications, either one. It has an ultra matte sheen, so it gives it that natural wood appearance. It is not UV sensitive, so will not amber or fade over time. And it has a low odor, so it's very non-offensive on job sites. Some examples here. Product is ideal for light woods to keep natural wood tone appearance, but may be used on dark stains or exotic woods. Does contain a small amount of white pigment to keep a true ultra matte sheen. And it may be used on white stains to intensify or even just keep that white coloring. We've been asked this quite a bit from our contractors when they apply a white stain, how to keep that white appearance, not wash it out, and maybe intensify it a little bit. And this is the perfect product for that application. It's not limited to, but perfect for it. And it can be used in conjunction with all of our other PALLMANN finishes and sealers, which gives you an ample opportunity to put whatever system that you like to use. And that may be say our PALL-X Clear, and you could put down our 96 or Power or Gold for the first finish coat, I guess, and then a final coat with the PALL-X Pure on top. You can use Pure with a couple coats on any sealers, interchanged with any of our finishes. So very versatile, no concerns about mixing and matching with any of our other products and having issues. Now, must be roller applied, and we recommend using our PALLMANN waterborne roller. Because of the white pigment, it kind of makes it a little thicker viscosity, and it has a high solid content, as mentioned. So we feel that the roller application is best suited for a nice, even appearance. Couple of just pictures here to kind of give you an idea. On the left of there, that really shows our natural wood tone appearance, where it doesn't really pop the coloring of the floor. A lot more of our customers are asking to kind of keep that natural wood tone appearance. And so you can see it just does not have an intense coloring effect, but still has great clarity. Still looks looks like a beautiful hardwood floor, but just doesn't intensify it, which again, we're getting asked that quite a bit. And then the picture on the right, kind of the reflection through those windows, shows you the dull ultra matte sheen, where you don't get the reflections. And again, both of those properties help it just give it that natural wood tone appearance with the low sheen. And like I mentioned before, we're getting asked this a lot from our customers. And here we're providing the solution. Now, PALLX Pure is definitely a unique product on the market. As we know of right now, we are the only finish with a white pigment, which ensures that ultra matte sheen and a natural looking wood appearance. There are sealers out there that contain white pigment, but as far as we know now, and as we know now, I suppose, We are the only ones that have a finish with a little white pigment. It helps keep the hardwood floor coloring looking raw, and it will not amber or fade, or most importantly, yellow on some of those light stains, or white stains especially. May be used in commercial or residential settings. It has excellent flow and leveling that I think you're used to with the PALLMANN sealer and finish line, and that provides a very forgiving application. Quick recap. PALL-X Pure is a 2-component hardwood floor finish for commercial or residential use when an ultramatte or raw wood appearance is desired. It is ideal for light woods to keep light woods light, as it contains a small amount of white pigment, but also may be used on dark stains and exotics after an appearance test. Again, there's not a compatibility issue with exotics. You just want to do it for appearance only. It has superior flow and leveling for a very forgiving and easy application. As mentioned before, it must be roller applied. And as we're in the summertime, I wanted to add this to remember to keep finishes at room temperature when applying, especially for 2 components where the excess heat will shorten the pot life. For all manufacturers out there and with waterborne finishes, the ideal coating temperatures for sealers and finishes is between 65 and 75 degrees. This time of year, I know it's very easy to leave your material in your truck or van all day, but I'll give you a quick example. Here in Denver, yesterday it was 87 degrees outside, and I took temperature readings in my vehicle, and it was 117 degrees. So there was a 30-degree temperature difference, but that was just at 87. So if you're in areas that are in the 90s or get to the hundreds, you can imagine that could be 130, 140 degrees. You know, that your finishes will, you know, acclimate to that type of temperature. So keep that in mind. We want to make sure that it's room temperature. I'm going to move into our sealer here, one of our 2 sealers, PALL-X WHITESEAL. This is a waterborne 1-component sealer, and it's ideal for use on lighter color species or where an Arctic wood appearance is desired. It does contain a small amount of white pigment to achieve that white floor look. Now, if 1 coat is not enough white for you, white appearance to it, you may apply a 2nd coat for a more intense whitening effect. It is solvent free. This is very innovative technology out there that we lead the market on, that both of our sealers I'm going to talk about here are contain 0 solvents, so very green. Well, technical data, it does come in your standard US gallon. It is milky white when it's wet, but it does dry clear. Has 25% solids, and the odor is very low and non-offending. The big reason for that, as mentioned before, is the solvent-free, which then allows it to not exceed 5 grams per liter VOC. Okay, so that's very low. You walk outside and breathe in the fresh air, you're almost breathing in 5 VOCs. So it's standard air quality. It does have a 1-month shelf life. I kind of mentioned before with the Pure, very similar, where the clarity is very clear when dry. I mean, it has that white coloring effect on the wood species, but you see it in the wood. You don't see it in the actual material. It's not noticeable like in the film itself. You know, it looks like it's in the wood, and you get more of a visualization with it when you apply our PALLMANN finishes on top. You can really see it better. Coverage rate is also 500 to 550 square feet per gallon. It's a little bit thinner than our older products. Now, dry time is 2 hours, and we do recommend leaving it this 2 hours. If you use or are familiar with PALL-X Clear or Color, I know it's 1 hour, you can get on a little bit quicker, but being solvent free, we do want to give it just an extra amount of time to have a 2 hour dry time. And of course, very humid applications, or I guess wherever you're located with air conditioning during the summer, or maybe during the winter time where it's cooler, it will extend the dry time just a little, but try to keep it around that 2 hour mark, please. Couple of features and benefits. It is fast drying and easy application. It does save time and very forgiving. It has great penetrating and filling capacity, which allows minimizing risk of side bonding. Does contain a small amount of white pigment, which gives it that kind of Arctic appearance to the wood. It can be abraded, which reduces time of intercoat abrading finishes. And I'll get to that in a second here in the next slide or two. Does contain tannin blockers, which eliminates any tannin pull in the wood species, and especially something like white oak, which is a concern out there. Application. This product is suitable for application on light wood species such as oak, hickory, maple, and birch when you want that Arctic appearance. White seal does contain a small amount of white pigment. A second coat of white seal may be applied to enhance the vibrancy of the white on the floor. White seal can be used in conjunction with all PALLMANN waterborne finishes. So you may apply 96, Power, Gold, or Pure on top, depending on the appearance you desire or the product that you typically use on a regular basis. Now, white seal can be abraded. We like to recommend maybe a maroon pad or 220 grit or higher. A fine grit, basically, to say on that. Maybe a green sand dollar is adequate. Or it can be hot coated with any of our waterborne finishes, which I typically like to do. I like to apply the sealer, let it dry, and then you can apply the finish, let that dry, then you abrade and apply your final coat of finish. But we know there's a lot of contractors out there that like to apply the sealer, let that dry, do the abrasion, and then apply 2 coats of finish on top. We give you the option to do whatever suits your procedures the best. So you can abrade it or you don't have to abrade it. That's up to you, depending on the procedures you typically use. And this one also must be roller applied. Because of the viscosity, it is a little thicker. So the roller application will give you a nice, even distribution, I guess, of the product on the hardwood floor. Especially being a pigmented product, you do want to make sure it is an even coating, and the roller gives you the best chance for that. It really works great. It's very easy to use, very forgiving application. Well, we'll move on to the next sealer. Apologize for that. Our PALL-X NatureSeal. It is a waterborne one-component sealer ideal for use on lighter colored species of wood where an untreated wood look is desired. It does also contain a small amount of white pigment, not as much as white seal, but does have a small amount. It may be used on exotic or darker wood species of woods. Again, we want you to perform a test to ensure color selection is correct, but I'll give you an example. We have here in my training center, we have a Brazilian cherry panel, and having the NatureSeal on top of it just looks absolutely fantastic, where it just looks like there's no finish applied color-wise. I know more and more contractors and customers are asking to not pop, the coloring of their exotic wood species, and this does a great job for it. So definitely may be used on those type of woods. This is also solvent-free. So again, very innovative technology that PALLMANN provides to the market. Well, technical data, also just a standard 1 US gallon. Like most of our material, it is milky white when wet, but it does dry clear. Has 25% solid content. The odor is very low and non-offending. Like mentioned before, being solvent-free, the VOC content does not exceed 5 grams per liter. So 2 of the greenest sealers on the market out there today with the white seal and NatureSeal with being solvent-free. Does contain a 1-year shelf life. And the clarity also with the white pigment, but it's still clear when dry, but it has that untreated wood appearance effect on most wood species. and you see it more when it's top coated with the PALLMANN finishes. Coverage rate is 500 to 550 square feet per gallon. Pretty easy to hit. And also the dry time, being solvent free, is roughly around 2 hours. And again, I mentioned that with the white seal. We do want to make sure you give it that little extra time than maybe you're used to with our PALL-X Clear or PALL-X Color. Couple features and benefits. It's fast drying and easy application, which saves time and is very forgiving. It has good penetration and filling, which minimizes risk of side bonding. Small amount of white pigment, which gives that untreated wood effect. It can be abraded, right? Reduces time of intercoat abrading finishes. But mentioned before, you don't have to abrade it. We give you the option. And it does contain tannin blockers, which eliminates tannin pull in wood species such as white oak. Application of it. The product is suitable for application on most wood species where the raw or untreated wood appearance is desired. NatureSeal does contain a small amount of white pigment. A second coat of NatureSeal may be applied to achieve that desired look. Again, it depends on whatever appearance you or your customer is looking for. NatureSeal can be used in conjunction with all of our PALLMANN waterborne finishes. So if you're a 96 Power Gold or Pure user, they all work together. As mentioned before, NatureSeal can be abraded. Again, we like the fine grits, maroon pad, 220 grit or higher, or the green sand dollars, or it may be hot coated with our waterborne finish. Again, we give you the option of whatever works best for your, your process that you're used to. And this also must be roller applied. Again, with the viscosity and with the white pigment, a little bit thicker, but it does help give you a nice, good, even appearance to the floor. I guess an even film. Very easy to do once you learn how to roll. Now, almost last slide here. We finished kind of talking about the products, but we do want you to connect with us. Okay, we are social. We're on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest. Right, we all love Pinterest and the amount of homeowners that show the Pinterest page of what their floor they want you to make for them. YouTube, and then of course our website, pallmann.us, and there's our phone numbers and our general email box for Pallmann at pallmann.us at ootsynuts.com. And last here, we do want you guys to sign up for our product updates and more. So once you go to our website, pallmann.us, just hit the little contact button there, and gives all the information there, how you can get a hold of us if needed. And then you can see the little box below where we do recommend you guys sign up. You'll receive product updates or email blasts on when we're running contests. We do like to run a lot of contests there on our social media. And you can get all the information by signing up with us. And that is all for the PowerPoint presentation there for the Pure, White Seal, and NatureSeal. We'll get our webcams going back here and get ready to start taking some questions that we can answer for you.
Yeah, hey Kelsey. First question is, and this kind of came in on the chat line, and I am going to open it up. I'm going to unmute everybody here after I give the question. So if you are driving or something like that and want to mute, you can unmute yourselves. Long and short, the question is, the contractor has used other sealers with pigments in them before, and they basically had a little hard time applying them. Tough applications, just to get everything nice and even. How do our products flow and level in comparison to maybe some of the competitors' products that are out there?
Yeah, that's a great question. It is a pigmented product, so there's always going to be, you got to be a little bit more careful with anybody's, of course. But if you're used to the Pullman line, I think that you already know that our sealers and finishes, that we do exceed the competition with forgiveness, very easy applications that flow in levels amazingly. And these products have the same performance. Okay, so we feel from a lot of our tests and feedback from our contractors that we are a lot easier to apply the pigment products compared to our competition. So we keep the same Pullman ease of use in the line, even though it is pigmented. So
Good.
I think to really answer that, you'll see a difference. We do recommend maybe doing a side-by-side with the competitors, or if you use the competitors, you will see when you use ours that it's a lot more forgiving application. It's going to have more of an even flow and leveling to it, and even coloring.
Got it. Another question here is mention that the products are okay to use in conjunction with all the other Pullman waterborne products. How about compatibility over magic oil? So, as an example, we probably wouldn't use WHITESEAL or NatureSeal over Bond and then magic oil, but certainly could we use Pure?
Absolutely. I think we've got to make sure we reiterate the point that before you put a finish on top, a waterborne finish on top of magic oil, you do want to use our product PALL-X Bond, the bonding agent to ensure good adhesion with our finishes. And absolutely, PALLX Pure does work with the bonding agent. And that does not limit us to just magic oil. If there's a pre-finished floor application that you want to use the PALL-X Bond, PALLX Pure is completely compatible with it.
That's good. That's good. You mentioned rolling, and that's kind of just want to bring that up one more time. So we do manufacture a roller. And again, could you just kind of go over once again what the reason is for rolling these products? I know you touched on it just a little bit in the presentation.
Well, first with the roller, that we feel we have a better roller is, being a German-based company, we've been, our footprint has been in Europe for many, many years. And the standard application in Europe is to roll.
Right.
You mentioned T-bars or Padcos, or, cut-in pads. They don't know what they are. They just roll. So we've got a lot of expertise in rolling. And that's where we've produced, manufactured the best roller for the application aspect. But being the solvent-free and having the white pigment and the high solid content as mentioned with Pure, all three have a little thicker viscosity, where the roller will just provide a much more even kind of application of laying down the film. Where if you try to use a T-bar or a cut-in pad, you're going to have thick and thin, because you do put different pressure if you walk right to left compared to walking left to right. And that's not also ideal for pigment products. But just that viscosity, rolling gives you that much needed even flow and leveling of the film of the product. So, yeah.
We have another question that just came in. White pigments. Now, I know I heard you allude to this, and you and I have had some separate conversations. White pigmented sealers on exotics like Brazilian cherry or Ipe, and I know you have a panel in the training center, and I have a little smile on my face because I know your thoughts when you first put this product down back in the testing phase over that Brazilian cherry. It turned out pretty well.
Well, I guess to answer the first part of that is there's not a compatibility issue.
Sure.
Okay, so the WHITESEAL, NatureSeal, will work on most exotic wood species. When you get to the real crazy ones, you do want to test an area. I think everyone is used to that, with any of the sealers and finishes. But it just really depends on the appearance you're trying to achieve. And, and it's all personal, right? The appearance is personal. When you put down, that's why I'll explain it this way. WHITESEAL has more white pigment than NatureSeal. So when applied on a product like Brazilian cherry, having that little bit more white pigment, to me, it kind of had a little bit of a washed out effect. It still looked okay, and some people liked it. we've had some contractors and co-workers that said, hey, that looks nice. That's personally, I didn't care for it as much, but that's my personal appearance. It really depends on what the contractor or customer is looking for.
Sure.
And that's why we made NatureSeal with a little bit less white pigment, because that really gives it that raw, natural looking appearance, which I think most customers and contractors are looking for, not to really pop the color, to keep it like that raw looking effect. So that's why we really recommend doing the NatureSeal more so on the exotic woods, or if you want to tone down a dark stain. Where if you use white seal, there's a chance that you do kind of see that white pigment kind of spread out in the soft green and whatnot, and may not be the appearance you're trying to achieve.
Sure.
It's all personal though. Sorry, I mean, and guys, do
No,
your test, do your appearance tests, and get the approval of your customers if that's what they want to see.
Right.
But that's the main reason why we recommend the recommendations that we do have.
Yeah, and the follow-up question, there was no marks on the floor with the roller or anything like that, even over the exotics or dark stains. And I'll just speak to that real quick. Again, all the PALLMANN products are designed a little thicker viscosity over the competition, and all of them are designed to be rolled. And so rolling is not a problem with either one of these three products, Pure, NatureSeal, or WhiteSeal. In fact, we recommend it. And certainly, Kelsey, if you could just answer this one too. As far as rolling goes, I mean, any certain technique that you like a little bit more? Again, I know this is personal preference, but can we work out of a bucket? Can we, do the traditional pour a line, double roll? Walk us through that just a little bit.
Yeah, we actually just made a video last week. Unfortunately, it'll be a couple weeks until it's on our YouTube channel that shows kind of 3 different ways of rolling. So we kind of at least explain it and visually show the differences you may do. But just like anything, it's personal preference. I personally like to either dip and roll, or I pour a big puddle kind of between the legs, and you spread the material cross grain first to kind of just spread it out basically, and then
Sure.
you go with the grain to even out the thickness. It's fast, okay, and you get a nice good coat that way. But if I know a lot of the training and teachings out there for years has been to pour a line, a long cross grain, and then pull back and move forward. That's completely acceptable. And sometimes that's a little easier to get a little thinner application, which we kind of require on these products, the 500 to 550 square feet per gallon. But it's all personal.
Yeah.
I think it's the best thing to do is to try all different ways. Hopefully have your local PALLMANN rep walk you through the different ways, or we'll have that video here in the next few weeks to show.
Sure.
But personal preference. But again, I like to just kind of slap the material out side to side, cross grain, and then smooth it out going with the grain. It's 2 passes, 1 pass side to side, 1 east west, and then the next pass north south, and then move on to the next section.
Yeah, good. Well, again,
sorry, real quick, and that's coming from, I was a T-bar guy for many years, in case anyone wants to know that. I was a T-bar and a Padco cut-in pad. I'd say for the last quite a few years of my waterborne days, I would just use a cut-in pad for the whole floor. Instead of a T-bar, and it was difficult for me when I first started here to learn how to roll, because I didn't want to be changed out of my ways. Like, I've made it work for this many years, for 14 years. Why do I want to change? And once I did my first floor, it was a little nerve-wracking. Once you do your second, third floor and get used to it, it's amazing how much faster you can be, because the roller stipple, you don't necessarily have to go with the grain. Right. So when you get around the kitchen islands or kitchens, or that long hallway where the wood goes, side to side, you can just go cross grain, not a big deal, because the stipple is the same no matter what direction you go, and it really speeds up the application process. So it's a much easier way, and we've realized around the nation that more and more contractors are turning to rolling, and we've met a lot of contractors that have been rolling for several years now. It's just becoming more and more popular around the U.S.
Yeah, and it seems like it's always a little, I'll call it a little less stressful of an application too when you're rolling. It seems like you're at a little more calm of a pace, as opposed to sometimes with the T-bar we get going back and forth, or even working yourself out of a room, that can get a little challenging sometimes. So
Well, you bring
anyway,
up right there, sorry, you bring up the good point, pullbacks, right?
yeah,
Doing a
pullbacks.
pullback with the T-bar, a cut and pad, that's real stressful. And a lot of times you don't have enough finish, or you have too much finish when you get to the door. You got to pull the rags out and mop up that puddle. And when you're rolling on your pullback, I mean, you can hit a much larger square footage. You don't have excess material to wipe up, and it's a very fast process on pullbacks.
Yeah, no, exactly. So if I want to open it up to the crowd here, any other questions? We got a comment here. Yes, rolling is less stressful. So Daniel, we'd agree with you on that one.
Nice.
Any questions from the audience, as far as either through the chat, or if you want to open up your mics? Your mic should be open. Make sure.
Hopefully we answered everything for everybody.
Yeah. Again, we want to thank everybody for taking the time to join us on this webinar. We will be sending you a little package out that you'll receive in the mail a little down the road. Kelsey, want to thank you for your time. I know you spent a lot of time working on these products, bringing them to the market. Certainly from the entire PALLMANN team, we are very happy that we're able to still bring you information here. We are traveling, and so we are able to come out to job sites. So please, if you need us to come out to a job site, we'd be more than happy to come out to a job site in, and of course, a very safe manner for all of us. And of course, if there's any other questions along the way here, please let us know. Feel free to reach out to us. If you don't know who your PALLMANN territory manager is, Kelsey had the email before. It's simply pallman.us@utseen-uts.com, or there is a link on our website to all of our territory managers, their locations, and so forth. But again, myself, I'm Josh Newberger, Director of Marketing, and really want to thank you for the time. And Kelsey, any last words before we sign off here?
I don't think so. I guess basically just thanks again to everyone for attending. And, I guess one statement, please take advantage and use our PALLMANN territory managers out there. I mean, that's their job, is to be on job sites with you, to help teach and train our products. So please don't be shy or bashful of contacting them. They're there for you guys, for our distributors and for our contractors. Their job is to take care of you. So please use them as much as you can.
Very good words there. So recording of this webinar will be available on our website starting tomorrow. So if you missed it, or want to come back and catch anything, or you want to pass this along, it'll be in the same location where you registered. But if there's no other questions, Kelsey and I are going to sign off. And we really do greatly appreciate everybody attending, and we hope everybody is well, safe, and we look forward to seeing you all soon.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you.